Okay, we are back, and we're going to sum up now.
Okay.
We can. What are some of your recent projects?
After, by then, let's see, that ran 4 years, that wasn't, that was about 10 years ago, and that's when I packed it in. That was the last thing that I did.
Just completely retired?
Yeah. Well, yeah. No, well, you might say I have my hand in show business. I am president of the West Coast Jewish Theater, and we've now done our first play, and we're establishing we hope to, in this big city, of which most major cities have one, even smaller cities, a ongoing Jewish repertory theater. We just did our first show, very successful, in collaboration with the LA company, repertory company, and we did our first show with them together, and it's the first one that we now have produced, and it was terribly successful. We did Chaim Potuk's very bestseller called The Chosen, and it was a sellout, and if we had the venue, which is the theater, for any longer, and the New York Times gave it the #1, the pick of the week, and actually it's the pick of the season, and we could have run for at least 6 or 8 or 10 weeks more had we had the theater. So we made an awful lot of money, and I'm now reading scripts, and we're going to start our second one. I have to make a decision on which one it is, and whether I may direct it, I'll see, and it's onward and upward, because once we get our second one, then we can get funding, national funding, and finally this big city of Los Angeles, of all, gosh, New York has 2 or 3 of them, Cincinnati, 2, some, repertory theaters. This is such a wealth of literature, but so we're on our way. The point is here, the Valley Hebrews and the Beverly Hills and all this side, they don't get together, and it splits the audience. They have so much going there, but no theater, no standing in this big city of L.A. But now we realize it can be done, so hopefully, and so I'm still, I'm still in show business.
That's great.
So forth, and yeah, and I've always, there's one thing I've always regretted. I think I mentioned it earlier. I never had the luxury of rehearsal. All the movies I made, and the teleplays, and this and that, except for that, I hear of movies, and they've had readings and rehearsals with the actors, and on many of the films, and we had them at MGM. And except for, as I told you, review productions, where we had to shoot it in 3 days. Yeah, it's the only, and I love that one rehearsal day, because that's where it's with the actor.
Well, if that's your biggest regret, what would you say is your proudest achievement?
I guess, are we on?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know we were on. I'm sorry. I was talking off the cuff there. I don't know whether it was any interest or not. I didn't realize that. It's really hard to say, as you see that this thousands and thousands and thousands of feet of film and cans everywhere, and I'm proud to say that that I have, like in music, you call a song that lives the standards. Stardust is a standard, and that's the term they use for longevity. That I directed the movie PT 109 about President Kennedy in '62 and finished it in just 2 months before he was assassinated. and they ran it 5 times this year. So it's now '03. That's a long time, and it is a standard. And the Batman movie, of course, that's run, I think, 5 or 6 times this year too. So I have 2 films that you might call are like standards in the music business that, well, they're running more than I guess any film right now, as it so happens, those 2 films. So I'm very proud of that achievement. I'm just, it's not an easy business, and I have hundreds of friends and actors and writers, and enjoying the time that I have here. I can't really say any more than that, except I went to the right place at the right time, and fate took me to wonderful people who gave me a chance to use the knowledge that I'd acquired, and I don't take it for granted, and very happy, 47 years of marriage with my young bride, and who is an enigma to me, how someone can, like, she went to, and this might be interesting, she was at the Writers' Convention in Maui a year and a half ago, and by the writers and the book publishers and everything were there, and they asked her to interview 10 authors. And she interviewed 5 authors, 5 half-hour shows on a Saturday, and 5 authors on a Sunday. That's 10 novels, and I can't remember at times now what I had for breakfast. But can you imagine? I really, I'm in awe of my storyteller who can do that. And many times now she'll do 3 or 4 shows, 5 shows in a day, and that's, the one thing I respect, and there, but as I told you, for the grace of God go I, is the man who fills the blank page. I've respected it. I know that's the original creation. You don't need paint, a brush, you don't need anything. You just need a pencil and a piece of paper. And my respect for the word, and anyone, and again, anyone who can interpret it. But there are so many things to be, grateful for. That there's more, like our wonderful daughter who is we're so close to, and we have a grandson now, and I'm just enjoying these years and have my hand in show business. And I've often thought that I could go back and make an independent movie, and then I begin to think, well, I've done it all, and so I'm happy at my age to enjoy it. I like knocking off those 50 and 60-year-old kids up at the tennis court, and those silly, vain things that a man has at my age.
What advice would you give to aspiring directors?
Well, it all comes under one category, and that is to learn your craft. And if you want to be a director, you can start studying before you're anywhere near a set. And I did that. I was aware where every time you watch a television show, you're learning. You can so learn your craft, how it was directed, you study. You can learn in conversation, and to direct every facet, and to be a reader, and to study. You don't watch a show for entertainment. You go to movies to learn and to study, and it's just like you don't have to go to college, assuming that you're well read and can express yourself. And my advice, that's in addition to going to classes and workshops. I lecture at the workshops here quite a bit, the various workshops, you know, and I enjoy that. It's fun because these young people are actors, writers, directors at CBS Cinema Center and a number of the workshops here. So I'm in it in that area too. But to directors, you know, what I'm saying, you really learn by every minute that you're awake. You are subconsciously studying character, human nature, this or that, studying film, studying, certainly going, so that when you watch, you don't go to a movie just to enjoy yourself. You're sitting there, oh, look at that shot, look at this, look what he's done here. You can learn, you know, great things. And then, of course, all the workshops don't help. And education is important, so you're well-read and literate and know story structure, all very important. All the ingredients that go into the pot, so to speak.
And how would you like to be remembered?
Gee, I don't know. I just never thought of that. I mean, I have a legacy of work, and the important thing to be remembered is, to me, is my wife and my daughter, you know, and my grandson. I mean, you know, my body of work speaks for itself, and I think I've left a long legacy of film. And that's it. What you see is what you got. But getting down to, you know, family values, that's eventually, you know, as you get at this age, if you're fortunate enough to, you know, it's family and where you are and your kids, and the legacy is there. It's I just don't think about it. Those people who will see my films in years and this and say, well, Leslie Martin say, well, he did a good job there. I didn't like that one. It's funny. Where he went way off base there. So I don't mean to oversimplify, but that's where I'm at. You know, if I said to you, you know, are you thinking about a legacy at this early stage? Yeah.
I'd like to be remembered as the guy who didn't die.
Oh, well, that's a cute answer. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much
for
your time. And
I want to tell you thank you, as I told you before, Lenny Stern, whom I admire so. You know, he's a very fine motion picture director and writer, producer. Has his own publishing company. As I told you, I ran into him yesterday, and he had very fine things to say about you as an interviewer. So I'll remember you as that.
Okay.
Well, and I'm in your thanks for such a. But you've made me very relaxed, and I've enjoyed it.
Well, thank you.
Because I'm apprehensive, you know. I don't spend that much time in front of a camera, and you put me very much at ease, and I'm aware and grateful for it. So thanks.
Okay, thank you.
My pleasure.